Number 30, the special. That's really special. This is the last one, I promise. The last one. We're going to have a new show next, or the show will be back next week, the adventure. Anyway, just listen to this. You're going to love it. This program contains mature language and situations. Please see our show notes for an advisory specific to this episode. Hi everyone, I'm Michael J. Rigg, the creator, writer, producer of COPPERHEART.
And I am Robbie.
Can you just... No, Robbie, you're here to help me with the files, not interrupt. This isn't the other show, this is... Never mind. Folks, I'm both sorry and thrilled to present to you this very special. I'm sorry because it means putting off the continuing COPPERHEART story one more week, just one. But I am thrilled because this is going to be a special I'm sure you're going to enjoy.
You were not even going to introduce me?
No, Robbie, I'm not. I have a lot to get to, and I
like COPPERHEART too. I am a COPPERHEART.
You are, but you're not in this production. You're a
patron.
What? You are not a patron of the. What are you doing?
Here is a quarter. I found it in the driveway. I am now a patron.
That's not how that works. And if it was in our driveway, it's already my quarter. Can you just stand over there? Fine. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present RBY 2187, a COPPERHEART automaton similar to COPPERHEART's own EDN 6174.
Hello.
There you go. Robbie is my co-host on the Steamrollers Adventure podcast, and he's here to help me with the audio files I'll be presenting today to shine the spotlight on our very deserving COPPERHEART actors, as well as some of our patrons. If COPPERHEART is your first or only audio drama, you're in luck. Consider this an invitation to fall in love with other shows that feature some actors you already know from this show.
I am a big fan of COPPERHEART. # biased.
Thank you.
I am a patron.
You are not... Put the quarter down. Put it down. Put the quarter... Folks, as you know, COPPERHEART has a pretty huge cast, and the actors in it have some very impressive resumes. If you're a fan of audio dramas, comedies, or actual play podcasts, there's a good chance you've heard of them. In some cases, you might even think that actors like Graham Rowett are in everything.
Hi everybody, this is Graham Rowett. I play the role of Captain Arthur Dunn in COPPERHEART. But I've always dreamed of reaching the rank of Major General.
Our COPPERHEART creator asked his members here to self-promote. I wasn't sure I'd have the time to muster up the skill to gloat, but then I thought of all the scribes, including our own Michael Rigg, who sacrificed their social lives to weave their tales both small and big. And so I fired up my screen to take a stock of all my shows. So many dazzling stories, and the roles I wear like gospel clothes. It's clear I have too much free time. I really should get up and move. My therapist believes it's likely that I have something to prove.
That's not... Guys, that's not what I said. I didn't say that. Okay.
This calling Darkness and the Van Point Mystic 1994, the Hotel Crown of Thieves are doing, and also Liberty Endures. In short, in case you think I don't have titles for another verse, I played a Doom reporter in a podcast known as Otherverse.
Why have you brought me here? What is that? No! No!
There's Boston Harbor Horror and the Death of Dr. John Parker, Counterbalance, Crown of Thieves, and Standard Docking Procedure. Among the Stars and Bones of Truth, the Archives of the SCP, Dark Dice, Red Ring, Arc City, Overkill, the Wicked Library. Just Press Playhouse, Greater Boston, Superstition Seminar, the Insomnia Project, Windfall, and the Pilgrimage Saga. Take the Mass Pack Grey Rooms and the Call of Cthulhu Mystery Show. The No Sleep Podcast, the Hotel, the Theater of Tomorrow.
I love all of these shows.
But yes, my favorite place is USRBGL 51. There's no place I would rather be than USRBGL 51.
Yeah, pretty much like that. Thanks, Graham. You may also have seen him on TV or heard him in a video game. And the same can be said about scores of other wonderful voice actors who bring characters to life on this show and others. People like Graham, Allison, Alicia, Victoria, and all the Sarahs make scenes explode off the page in podcasts produced around the world. In our show, Graham Rowett plays Arthur Dunn, an American astronaut who finds himself in an alternate reality during a very dark period in history that never really happened. I first heard Graham in a show I never thought I'd like because anthologies weren't my thing until this, let alone fall in love with or become a contributor to. It's The Grey Rooms, which has also featured Sarah Ruth Thomas, who you know as Iris on our show, as a cute, cuddly little teddy bear.
That cuts people to bloody ribbons.
There is that, yes. Here is The Grey Rooms.
You wake on a hard, cold floor. So cold, it burns your skin. The air smells of sulfur and ash. Your head throbs. Your mouth is dry. You have no idea how you got here. Panic sets in. Fear becomes terror. What have you done? What brought you to this place? It doesn't matter, because now you belong to the Grey Rooms.
I didn't do anything wrong. They took away my only reason for living.
Please, I can't die today. Don't let me die today. I want her to feel the same pain as I do.
Why have you done this?
The pain radiated from my forearm.
Which door would you choose if given the choice?
I can't. Please. Don't make me go through another door.
The Grey Rooms.
Alicia Atkins, who stars as Director Rhoda in Copperheart, can be heard on The Creepy podcast, as well as The Beacon, Zoo, and others. In The Beacon, she plays Cappy, a rugby player with special powers. If that sounds familiar and you're saying,
wait a minute, didn't Dunn find a picture of Rhoda in her office wearing a rugby uniform?
Yes, he did. That was my nod to The Beacon. Just like Rhoda's mention of Dunn being trapped in a grey room was my tribute to, yeah, you know. Here's The Beacon.
Hello, everyone. This is The Beacon. I can do stuff like this.
It wasn't just a few extra pounds. It was hundreds more.
It's just my power. I can make the things I create come to life. Temporarily.
Introducing the loop tile.
Did you just forget? Us walking home in the dark and you running into the woods after something growling? I thought you could be dead!
I'm back from the dead, just like all the best heroes.
Give it up for friendship practice.
What's up with you anyway, emo boy? You still alone with your sketchy friends?
If only because I don't need an entire entourage stroking my ego to make me feel self-assured.
People don't listen to the show for non-super magic stuff. They're here for action, drama, pizzazz.
Hear that? I'm not scared.
I'm scared, okay? Is that what you want me to say?
We're not superheroes.
I guess I'll just wait here then for things to happen.
I think everyone deserves a chance to learn about art.
Here's your giant lesbian now.
Come at me, you mangy dog. It's The Beacon, an urban fantasy audio drama, written and produced by Claudia Elvidge. To learn more, visit thebeaconpodcast.com or follow us on Twitter at thebeaconpod. That sounded kind of weird, didn't it?
As we continue diving down the Graham Rowett rabbit hole, we find him as the rumbling, dark voice behind a demon inadvertently summoned by a group of young women in Calling Darkness. Copperheart shares a lot of big names with the actors and creators of Calling Darkness, including our own dark voice, Allison Brandt, as the visitor. Then there's Captain Simcoe, played by Victoria Wan, and S.H. Cooper, who plays Dr. Carr on our show. You'll find them as well as other big name surprises in Calling Darkness.
Michael!
Yes, Robbie?
May I go before you play the trailer? I am scared.
But you know Victoria and Sarah, and you got to meet Allison. You don't have to be afraid. Okay, fine. I won't play the trailer. I won't play it. Folks, here's Calling Darkness.
Okay, Nadia, hold it up so everyone can see.
Light fades, dark ascends, and whisper in shadow. Desires of the flesh, concealed in the heart, lay bare upon this table. A feast of hidden things, our secrets, our sins. We give them freely, we offer them openly. Our secrets, our sins. Come now and eat of our weakness.
What the fuck?
Calling darkness, possessing podcatchers everywhere.
Well, Robbie's gone. Never saw a metal butt run so fast. Now, S.H. Cooper, our Dr. Carr, has written a couple of short story collections called The Corpse Garden and From Twisted Roots, as well as a novella called The Festering Ones. She's also acted in the Glass Appeal Radioverse podcast, and she's also a contributing author on Creepy and the No Sleep podcast. Shout out, by the way, to David Cummings and the No Sleep gang while we're at it. I saw their live Halloween show in Chicago last weekend and had a blast. In fact, our own Nicole Goodnight, who plays General Hanover, can be found in the No Sleep podcast as well, as can Sarah Ruth Thomas, and again, that Graham Rowett dude. Georgia P. McKenzie, who plays Dr. Cern on our show, plays a major role in the awesome sci-fi twisted reality thriller Ostium. There was a nod to Ostium when I had Dr. Cern describe psychology as finding a town filled with doors where you don't know what lies beyond them. That's pretty much how Ostium starts, but where it takes you... Here is Ostium, produced by Alex C. Talander, another one of those great creators who's good to know.
I discovered the secret town of Ostium. The secret town of Ostium. It's now 3 a.m, and when I wake in the morning, I'll prepare myself, bring those bolt cutters, and return to that town of Ostium. I'll get it open and find out just what this strange place called Ostium is all about and why it called to me. Tomorrow, I will go through one of those doors, one of those faces of Ostium, and I will find out what the hell is going on in that strange town.
There's another show I want to mention here that's not brought to you by a cast member of COPPERHEART, but by one of our patrons. Dwayne Farver is a great supporter of the podcasting community, and his contributions are among those that keep this show going. He recently launched his own audio drama, Manifestations, which is produced as part of the Ostium Network. Here's a peek at Dwayne's awesome show.
I remember me. My name is Alan. I can't remember when I should be. The memories seem to be from so long ago, like they're from a story I read, and I can't remember all of the details. I hesitate, then slowly look at my reflection in the window, and see a face that isn't mine. I'm not sure where I'm going next, but I feel like it's going to change me.
Be sure to give the Ostium Network some love. Now join me as we skip across the pond. Headley Knights is among our Outside of America cast members. He plays Dr. Penbrook on COPPERHEART, but he's also a superb audio engineer and a show creator. Headley is the co-founder of Battlebird Productions and is the producer of an absolutely fun sci-fi comedy audio drama called We Fix Space Junk, which follows the exploits of a repair crew zipping about the galaxy fixing other people's problems. It's a fun show with a great cast, brought to you by Headley Knights, our own Dr. Penbrook.
Ship's log. We're now approaching Hagen 4, ready for covert parcel pickup. Due to the sensitive nature of the parcel, defense systems are armed. Potential for death, maiming, and capture. Shields set to maximum, lasers set to maim, I think. They're pretty ramped up anyway. Cannons set to cannon. Reminder, pick up milk, crisps, gaffer tape, and cable ties.
We Fix Space Junk by Beth Crane.
We Fix Space Junk is a weekly sci-fi sitcom beginning on March 19th.
Follow the adventures of Kilner and Samantha as they travel across space, fixing things, getting shot at, and generally trying to survive. What sinister plots will they uncover? What unsettling events will they encounter? And will they ever escape the clutches of Automnicon? These questions and more may be answered at some point on We Fix Space Junk.
This broadcast has been sponsored by Automnicon. We own you.
Erin King recently joined the cast of Copperheart as Heather Kaminsky, Jack Seller's brilliant AI-building girlfriend. Erin's got quite a background of audio experience herself. You can find her on Wet Hot American Moon Juice, 1994, FMK All Day, and Newsies Minute. But wait, what? Wet Hot what? Is that allowable? It's more than allowable, especially if you're a writer who has taken the dip into the NaNoWriMo pool. That is National Novel Writing Month coming up in November. I'll let the Wham crew explain it for you.
What is Wet Hot American Moon Juice?
It's like taking the first sip of a fresh cup of coffee and it's way too hot and you burn your tongue.
That's like asking me to describe the sound of my daughter's laughter.
Urban Dictionary said that juice means street credibility, so I think I'm part of a gang.
At its core, it's a lifestyle.
Nowadays, most young kids just want to take Instagram photos with moon juice.
I need to save my words because I need 50,000 of them.
I don't even think I know 50,000 words.
Yeah, I guess I should have known from the start that I was in over my head.
Wet Hot American Moon Juice is a National Novel Writing Month podcast. What's a National Novel Writing Month podcast, you ask? A bad idea. That's what. But with the power of friendship, even bad ideas can be really, really good. Coming late October 2019 to the Scavengers Network and a podcatcher near you.
I think in this day and age we can all use a little more moon juice in our lives. But only the wet, hot American kind. None of that knockoff European stuff.
Remember the Copperheart pilot episode where Looter dared Penarski into a game of Fuck, Marry, Kill? Well, if you said to yourself, if only there was a podcast dedicated to the cringiest of parlor games, never fear, Erin's got you covered.
Hello and welcome to FMK All Day. I'm Erin.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And on this show, we play no holds barred Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Yes, it's true.
Only we don't bleep out the bad words.
No regrets.
Each episode is under 15 minutes, and you can find us on the Scavengers Network and wherever you like to get your podcasts.
Chris Magilton has had more individual voices in Copperheart than anyone else. He started off as the ill-fated Capcom aboard Enterprise 1, and he follows around Sergeant O'Bannon and his buddy Merrick as Corporal Jenkins. But you probably know him best as the arch-nemesis of Jack Sellers, Lieutenant Colonel Hayden. My hat is perpetually tipped to Chris, as all three of the characters he's played on Copperheart are American with different accents. Chris is not. When I first took him on in the role of Capcom, I had no idea. And when I asked him to fill the shoes of Colonel Hayden, I didn't know he'd kill it. Now, not only is Chris Magilton the master of the American accent and a skilled voice actor in his own right, he is also the creator of Among the Stars and Bones, a show that has made me stop, skip back, re-listen, and gasp on more than one occasion. Yeah, and Graham Rowett's in that one too.
Commence report.
Commence report.
Commence report.
So, I guess I start with commence report.
We have uncovered a complete subterranean alien colony city.
It's incredible. Huge. It just drops away for miles.
But I am more concerned with the benefits of this technology, not a history lesson.
Proximan remains have been found on site. This could indicate an evacuation gone wrong.
If the site was abandoned, which it seems to be, then there must have been a reason.
But there's an entire mystery to go through here. 600 dead alien bodies. Probably thousands more missing or otherwise unaccounted for.
I found a chamber. Something is ticking over down there. It's not dead.
We might figure out how it works by poking it, but unless we're careful, we'll likely blow our own faces off.
I asked him to look into that artifact. If something happened to him because of it...
Look, I'm just going to get right to it. We have a crew member missing.
There's no inherent danger involved in what I'm doing.
Among the Stars and Bones is a science fiction, xeno-archaeological audio drama.
I guess that wraps it up. End report?
When I first started in podcasting about 5 or more years ago, I met some people who were great mentors and peers. They answered questions, gave advice, helped me get started, and even helped promote my show. The podcasting community, especially for audio dramas, comedies, and actual play podcasts, is the most amazing family you'll ever find. If you're looking to start your own show, you'll find a lot of guidance and friendship along the way right here. Among those I met at the beginning of my podcasting career was David Steele, who you know here as the voice of Eris, the AI. He's got a rather prolific podcasting production pedigree, he said, not realizing how alliterative he was being. And David's an off-Broadway actor turned DJ turned voice actor. I came to know him when I started my tabletop role-playing show, the Steamrollers Adventure podcast. I found and became a huge fan of the tabletop D&D show David put together with his family, A Quest for Magic and Steel. David and I chatted about our mutual interest, exchanged promos for our shows, and the rest is podcast history.
A Quest for Magic and Steel, a family-friendly adventure where 6 people play the tabletop game of Dungeons and Dragons. The game master, Amara, her sister, brother, dad, and 2 friends take on the roles of their characters as they voice act and use improv to tell the story of these misfit adventurers. If you like D&D, this is an easy must-listen. And if you're not into D&D or have never played, that's okay, because this game is based more on the storytelling and role-playing than it is on the strict rules of the traditional game. Get ready to take a break from a hectic day or prepare to take on the week as a new show and this ongoing episodic journey goes up every Sunday. Listen as you drive, do chores, ride the bus, work out, or whenever you want an escape. Join David, Amara, Shayna, Josiah, Alicia, and Brian on a family adventure. Laugh out loud and imagine you're right there with them playing along. Find it on any podcast player for any device or listen directly from the website www.magicandsteel.com. That's STEELE. Don't forget the last E for entertainment. On Twitter at Empire Steel and on Facebook at Steel Empire.
Well before Copperheart and sometime after Steamrollers, David branched out to produce and star in an audio drama he co-created with his friend and writer Adam Christopher. Their modern post-apocalyptic sci-fi adventure follows the main character, Nathan Alexander, aka Lawful Good, as he sets out on a first-person quest of discovery and self-discovery. Season 1 is absolutely gripping, and Season 2 is currently in production. Here is Arc City.
Statement 2. Statement 1.
Prepare yourself.
Statement 6. Statement 6. Conclusions. I conclude that when we do this for real, it's going to suck twice as much.
For a new audio drama
Statement 3.
experience from
Observations.
Steel Empire Productions.
Dad? Where are you, Dad?
Arc City.
Statement 5. I conclude that we are tempting the hand of fate.
A first-person audio drama experience.
Hello, I am EV3AI. I am fully functional.
You have been chosen.
Check out more of David Steele's work at magicandsteel.com. Don't forget the E at the end of Steel, that's E for entertainment, and at arccity.us. Speaking of tabletop RPG adventures, Oh, Robbie, you scared the fucking hell out of me.
Well, I thought I would come back and offer to talk about the Steamrollers show, since, as this special demonstrates, you would rather extol the talents of others more so than yourself.
We just happened to be in a technical disaster downtime, and I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge and thank our wonderful cast.
That is very nice, but if you will allow me, I would like to present your other production and talk about that, huh? Okay, please?
Just introduce the trailer. Oh, and don't forget to mention that Rupert Fullhurst, who plays Dr. Kipling, Jen Avril, who plays Dr. Albee, and Ray Volk, who plays the headless and very deceased Lieutenant Hickson, are all players in Steamrollers.
You just did! Ladies and gentlemen, the Steamrollers Adventure Podcast is an actual play steampunk comedy adventure based in the fantasy worlds created by Copperheart creator Michael J. Rigg. From his best-selling novels,
Robbie, you can't say that. They weren't bestsellers. to be honest, I make like 15 cents a month off of them.
Still, you sold them, and I thought they were best. Ergo, bestsellers.
No, that's not how that works.
Clockwork Looking Glass and the follow-up Clockwork Pandora by Michael J. Rigg are available on Amazon. The Steamrollers Adventure Podcast is probably available wherever you are hearing this. Here it is.
The Steamrollers Adventure Podcast is an actual play steampunk comedy adventure role-playing game podcast. Season 1, The Defectors. He's gone and another guy appears in his place.
Boom!
You're gonna bop him?
Yeah.
All right. Oh my God.
So I was standing behind him.
Adrian was standing, she looks at you and she goes, I was going to say hi.
What the hell's going on here? Your last chance. What's going on? I'm traveling with my niece. We had a... Oh my God! Oh!
Season 2, The Principal Engine. Something large and black, so it just goes... and her head separates from her body.
The number of NPCs darkest and invited to kill.
Hey, you got the girl. Give me the horse.
She's 14.
Okay. Yeah, I did. Well, my horse is 5. What do you want?
Season 3, The Great War.
All right, I'm gonna instruct him to take out the injured dog.
This message is not brought to you by PETA.
My name's Randall, Private Randall Doe, the ball gunner, but I'm also the engineer.
Good to see somebody who's working on fixing this ship.
Brad's gonna yell from the inside. Think it looks bad on the outside.
I love this crew, I just gotta say.
Find the show at steamrollersadventurepodcast.libsyn.com, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and your RSS player of choice. Find out more about the show at rigstories.com. That's RIGG stories.com. For those of you wondering, yes, I work too hard. And yes, I have too much fun. Now, before I end this special, I'd like to acknowledge the entire cast. And don't leave yet and don't skip. There's 1 or 2 more surprises coming after this. My boundless thanks goes out to the following talented voice actors. Please take the time to look them up, Google them, and follow all their other awesome things that they're doing. I'll probably also have some links in the show notes for you. And you can find the credits for each of them on the COPPERHEART page at rigstories.com/COPPERHEART. My thanks. Alicia Atkins as Rhoda, Allison Brandt as the Visitor, Dylan Chambers as Ogilvy, S.H. Cooper as Carr, James Duncan as Horner, Kenneth Faircloth Jr. as Schiller, Rupert Fullhurst as Kipling, Nicole Goodnight as Hanover, Emil Haig as Johansson, Aya Islam as Penarski, Victoria Wan as Simcoe, Aaron King as Kaminsky, Chris Magilton as Hayden, W. Arthur Marisi as Jim, Haley C. McCarthy as Luder, Georgia P. McKenzie as CERN, Colin Morris as EDN 6174, Evan Tess Murray as Dina and Schiller, Brian Penaloza as O'Bannon, Graham Rowett as Dunn, Marina Sandoval as DaCosta, Martin Saville as Merrick, David Steele as Eris, Sarah Ruth Thomas as Iris, Ray Volk as Hickson, and Jared Worley as Baxter. Now there's another cast member that hasn't been listed, and I'd really like to give her some credit, except I don't want to spoil anything. Karen Heimdall will be coming to COPPERHEART in a very important crossover role that will stir things up at GL51. That said, I can't give you her character's name on COPPERHEART or where she's crossing over from, but I can share with you her works outside of our show. You can hear her in Mirrors, Vampires of the Whitechapel, Vast Horizon, The White Vault, and others. And you can also hear her and our patron Neris Howell in Y2K, an audio drama releasing in 2020.
Hey, I'm Olivia, and this is the Y2K podcast. I'm a little nervous.
Hi, Kat. I'm happy you're so happy. It makes me feel better, too.
Hello, Jess? Great to hear your voice.
Alright, I won't ask.
Joking.
Anyway.
Can't you take a joke,
Shouldn't have brought
sweetie?
them all at once. Never learn, do I?
There you are. Hema and I are leaving.
Cool. Love you, Sid.
What the hell were you thinking? I was asleep. I'm so happy for you.
They're called Tommy's Takeover.
How they felt about the whole Y2K problem.
Just get them in one that makes sense. Regular show. No problem.
And I've only listened to a couple of them, but they seem interesting somehow.
Y2K audio drama podcast coming soon to a podcatcher near you. Welcome to the year 2000.
Now, I mentioned Neris, who is an amazing patron of our show and the person behind the name of our Neris AI, sometimes mentioned in the show, because I mispronounced her name as Nerys during our first shout-out, so I made it up to her by turning her into an artificial intelligence. Anyway, I want to mention her because I'm sure you've seen her on Twitter. She comments, retweets, supports, and is my vote for the podcasting superfan. She's been a great supporter of Copperheart as well, so it's my pleasure to say we'll be able to pay back the love. Neris is currently working on a podcast of her own called Saren. Keep your ears peeled for that one. I know she's working really hard at it, and it's going to be awesome. No pressure, Neris. And if you need a male American voice actor, you know where to find me, or Graham Rowett. Why not? Speaking of patrons, I'd like to shout out to the following people who are making Copperheart possible. Without them, I don't think I'd be able to carry on after our huge technical difficulties hiatus. But because of them, here we are. My thanks goes out to Alex Woods, Alexei Gladilovich, Andrew Beniz, Bard Stein, Bob Graff, Brad Goupel, Brooks Bigley, CP, Carrie Bernstein, Dwayne Farver, Emily Harrington, Ethan Richards, Johnny Boy, Kathleen Street, McAngus, Martin Saville, Matthew Armstrong, Michael Velez, Neris Howell, Ostium, Rebecca Flowers, Shipper's List, Sholem West, Tyler Corder, Tracy Dickens, William Gilbert, Zachary, and Zoe McCaden. Thank you so much. I'm sure I've missed some shows, some credits, and other people to thank, so please dive into the podcasting community and share the love. Copperheart really is a joy to produce and a real labor of love. I can't say enough about the people in it and the people who support it. I should also give a special nod of thanks to Astral Fogg for providing the theme and incidental music for the show. I can't thank you enough, Jeff Fogg. You are a great friend and an awesome collaborator. I'd also like to thank Mike Lee of Broken Machines for helping bring the location of Horner's Corners to life with some awesome rockin'. The Audioverse Awards are now open for voting through October 31st. You can visit audioverseawards.net to cast your votes for your favorite podcasts, actors, writers, and creators. Naturally, I'd love some votes for Copperheart, but please dig into some of the other shows I mentioned today and support my cast and my patrons who are also creatives in everything they do. They're all great people who do great work, keeping us entertained at home, at work, in the car, on trips, bringing new worlds to life every day, absolutely free of charge. Please show them some love.
Michael!
Yes, RBY 2197, also known as Robbie.
I did not hear from the Copperheart in Copperheart. Not that I am biased, being a Copperheart myself and all, but I was just...
Hi, this is Colin Morris, and thank you very much for listening to Copperheart. I really hope you're enjoying it.
How was that? Thanks, Colin.
Ooh, I am fanbotting.
Okay, good. Yeah, thank you, Colin, and thank you, everyone, and thank you all for listening. If you'd like to know more about Copperheart or any of my other projects, take a tour of the store, listen to episodes, or become a patron, you can find everything you need at rigstories.com. That's RIGGSTORIES.com. Please come back next week as the Copperheart story continues at GL51. Woo, we're back! Thank you, thank you, thank you! Everybody, have a great week.